that's where I would like leave this and go, oh yeah, no, and that's it. Because that's where LFO, I mean, even if we stopped there, this would be a really, really nice LFO. Just that really, those are the features you need in an LFO. But we're not done because I haven't switched this to HF yet. Do you know what HF does? Do you know what that sound is? That's a fast siren. HF means fast siren in French. No, I'm just kidding. HF turns this low frequency oscillator into an oscillator. And when we're in the HF mode, well, actually, it basically switches it so that its frequency range goes from 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. Now, I don't know if that sounds familiar to you, but that is the range of human hearing, unless you're my age. And so basically, we have an LFO that you can use as an envelope generator. And now you can use it as another oscillator. Yes, that's right. This LFO, crammed way over on the side here, and only labeled LFO, should also be labeled gosh danged oscillator. And I'm sorry to swear, but wow. Okay, so let's listen to this. So what we're doing here, though, this is a high frequency oscillator in the sense that we're using it as a modulation source. We could do the same thing to the filter over here. Which can give some motion and some function to your filter, or again, anywhere else you can direct this through the mod assign section. But yeah, in HF mode, it is a fixed frequency based on whatever you have the rate set to, but it becomes like pretty much a frequency, like a note, and you can direct it wherever you need it to go. We also have the ability, the built-in ability right here to direct it to certain places. So let's hear both oscillators. We'll turn off this. We'll turn off the LFO. We'll set this. Now, the mode, since we're in HF, the mode settings are no longer true, and these squares are true. So I have just set it to HF and directed it to DDS1, oscillator 1. And what that does is it takes the audio output of this now audio oscillator and directs it to the same channel as DDS1. But it's fixed. When it just says high frequency, it'll stay fixed, so you can use it as a drone. So that'll be great for your bagpipe sound. But yeah, so you have the opportunity to use it as the LFO to modulate whatever when you have it in normal mode. Whatever you have the LFO directed to, or whatever, there is a situation where it's already directed. But when you switch it to HF and you put it into DDS1 or DDS2, it is then paired into the audio channel of one of the oscillators. And so wouldn't it be great then if you could control the pitch, because then you'd have a 3 oscillator polysynth. Yeah, so let's switch it to HF TRK, and TRK stands for, everybody say it. I can't hear you. I can just hear this clock going off. Track. Now the oscillator tracks the keys. The low frequency oscillator turned high frequency oscillator now tracks the keys entirely like an oscillator. So here we go. Here, I'm going to switch DDS2 that we're set to well, here's a thing you can do. I'm going to switch it to, no, that's just irritating. I'm going to switch it to noise. So we're just getting, we can't hear the oscillator that is DDS2. We can only hear the noise generator. So now we can hear the output from LFO1. So there's 6 LFOs. I'm assuming you have 6 voice polyphony, 6 note polyphony with this LFO, which is crazy. Now, the output that you get, you tune with the rate. So if we wanted to tune it to DDS2, that's all we got going. That's what we have. So apart from the noise, we're hearing me playing LFO1 as an oscillator. Now, you might say, well, what about that waveform? You can't switch it to another waveform? Well, no, because look, if we switch this, we'd go out of the HF track. But there is a trick. There's an under the hood thing, and you know how I feel about under the hood things, but this one's pretty effing cool. I almost use a swear word. Oh, look, this just became a 3 oscillator polysynth. So I think I can almost use a swear on this. Okay. So there's just this trick you have to pull, and you have to basically use the rotary knob with the shift button and end up on the high frequency track. So let's switch it to HF, and then I'll hold shift and switch it to HF track. Press shift again, and all of a sudden we have a sawtooth wave. It will then, if you do that thing I just did, it will give you whatever wave DDS1 is set to. So in this case, it was a sawtooth. So now our LFO is playing a saw wave, tracking the keys in audible frequency. It's a 3rd oscillator. So let's switch DDS2 to something else. Triangle. Let's bring in DDS1. Chord per key. Yeah, so LFO1, in addition to being a full-featured LFO, is now oscillator 3. So when you talk about the UDO Super 6, it's basically a 3 oscillator synthesizer if you use it. And, you could be like, well, Mark, what about, LFO? Because now you don't have LFO1. Well, you also have LFO2, and you also have the DDS modulator, which you can use in a variety of ways to modulate. I mean, heck, we haven't talked about the envelopes yet, and one of your envelopes can become an LFO. So if you lose an LFO and LFO1, you can get one in the envelope section. If you lose an envelope in one of the envelopes, you can use the envelope that's in LFO1. Everything is double duty on this thing. So yeah, there we are with a 3 oscillator polysynth, the Super 6, made by UDO.